Just getting low in the overgrown road that we follow.
My name is Joyce Vieney Robinson. I was only Joyce Vieney when I was here at Verde Valley School. When I was here at Verde Valley back in the 60s, I was from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Right now we're living up in Maine, and I've always been from New England, but I've lived and traveled all over the world. I'm from the class of '64. Well, the reason and the process that I got to VVS was my mother's sister was the registrar at Boston University, and she knew a lot of good schools, and my parents knew that I wanted to go away to school, so they talked to Annie Ruth, and she recommended Verde Valley because of its approach to education. I think my first impression when I pulled up to campus was, wow, I love nature. I always have loved nature. And seeing Cathedral Rock and Bell Rock and just the whole environment, I was like, this feels right for me. Well, VVS's influence has been, I think, very significant. It also, though, it further reflected my parents' ideas and approach to education in the world, because for me VVS was a focus on, I've been a school social worker for 20 years, I've retired a number of years, but as I always say to the kids, and it's something I've always believed about myself, it's not how smart you are, it's not how wealthy you are, it's not how good looking you are that makes or breaks you in this world. It's how well you can deal face to face with other people, especially other people with differing opinions or different experiences in life, and because what you learn from someone with differences in opinions and experiences of life, it helps expand your own intelligence and your whole grasp in the world, and it gives you a broader understanding of where your role is in the world, because the world does not revolve around you, it revolves around you and how well you can relate to the other components in it. Well, I'd have to say a person that had a big influence on me, there were a number of people, but one of the people that did was Marion Leidy, and also Colonel Thomas K. Fisher. And they just were incredible role models, and their expectations of me and other people were very on course with what you need to do to survive and learn in this world. So I would say Marion Leidy, and also Kit Bret Hart too, and Faith Fuller, but I would say Colonel Thomas K. Fisher and Marion Leidy, plus also some of the students in the class of '62 who were seniors when I came. We can get into that at another point. I think one of my favorite places when I was here at Verde Valley was over in the stable, because I had a horse, Marty. He was a pinto, and we would go riding out into the you know, the whole mesa and everything. And one time we were riding, I was riding along, and I was not an expert rider, but I just loved Marty. He was cool. All of a sudden he rears up and he goes, and I'm like, oh my God. And I look down, and there's a gigantic, ginormous rattler curled up right underneath him. And I'm like, no! And Marty, boom, he turned, and we went off the other way really quickly. And I'd say in the stables and with him, and also singing in different chorus groups like Los Choralistas, and acting in productions. That was fun. Acting, singing, and animals, yeah, that was it. Well, I think, again, it may have tied in with the theater project and Los Choralistas and the people there, John Hamilton, Henry Louderbaugh, Mike Gilligan, the whole crew of singers and everything, just because when we were performing together, we were like family, and everybody had one another's back, but you could learn so much from one another, and nobody tried to intimidate or act superior to anybody, and we all worked together as a group to perform music. And I would say that was probably one of my most formative experiences here. I still remember it. Granted, it was many, many, many years ago in the dark ages, but I still can see it and sense it right even nowadays today. Yep. Oh wow. Well, we went down to Mexico. I went to Pátzcuaro and Tasco, my 2 years here, and we always ended up in San Blas, on the beach at San Blas, which was great. Then we went and worked and lived Indian reservations. I love that. And we did that, and then of course we did the work jobs and whatever on campus. So that was basically the extent of it. Yeah. I'd say just chill and be yourself, and don't be scared of a new experience, because there are going to be a lot of good people here, adults and fellow students that you're going to meet, and you're going to be part of a process. It's a great learning process that really is going to prepare you for the real world. And I'm not lying about that. I mean, I've been a social worker and worked with kids and families for 40 years, and what I learned here in regards to dealing with other people and working with other people is something I've used every day of my life, consciously or unconsciously. So I would just say chill and be yourself. It's going to work out okay.
Visions